Imagine a time when the wisdom of ancient India spread its wings, journeying through Arab lands and eventually making its way to Europe. ISRO chairman S. Somnath admits concepts like algebra, square roots, time, architecture, the structure of the universe, and even aviation can trace their origins back to the Vedas. These ideas traveled to Europe through Arab countries and were subsequently repackaged as discoveries of Western scientists. This challenges us to rethink the true origins of modern science. In recent years, researchers have unearthed intriguing evidence that suggests ancient Indian civilization had an advanced understanding of the cosmos and natural phenomena. Concepts like the multiverse, quantum physics, and the unified field theory, once considered modern scientific territory, echo the timeless wisdom found in Vedic texts. This realization prompts us to reconsider the depths of ancient Indian knowledge and its technological sophistication. Take, for example, the multiverse theory. This idea of multiple parallel universes resonates with ancient Indian cosmology, where cyclical creation and destruction spans vast epochs. Similarly, the unified field theory, which aims to unify the fundamental forces of the universe, mirrors the Vedic concept of Brahman, an all-encompassing cosmic consciousness from which all phenomena emerge. Delving deeper, ancient Indian scholars calculated the speed of light with astonishing precision. Through ingenious mathematical techniques, they determined that sunlight travels 2,202 yojanas in half a nimsha, that is a 16 of 75 seconds. With a yojana equating to approximately 9.09 miles, they estimated the speed of light to be 189,547 miles per second, remarkably close to today's scientific calculation of 186,282 miles per second. Such remarkable parallels make it plausible to consider that ancient Indian civilization might have possessed knowledge and technology far beyond our current understanding. Before Europe began interacting with India, China, Southeast Asia, and Africa, these civilizations had been sharing knowledge and ideas amongst themselves. The Indian Ocean was a global crossroads, and the effect of colonialism has often obscured these rich, interconnected histories. Our modern conception of the world has narrowed, often being the Euro-American perspective. From the mid-10th century, one of history's greatest scientific eras began to flourish across Islamic lands. After the Muslim conquest of India, several rulers, including most notably the Mughal emperors of the 16th and early 17th centuries, beginning with Akbar, facilitated translations of Indian literature into Persian and Arabic. Several well-known Indian books such as Mahabharata, parts of the Vedas, Yoga Vasishta, Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavata Purana was thus translated. The most fundamental views contained within these texts express the crux of natural philosophy, a universe in constant transformation. The Yoga Vasishta, for example, was a collection of stories and fables nearly 30,000 verses in length and was appreciated for its realities, diverse morals, and remarkable advice. Under Darashuko, around 50 major Indian works were translated, including the Upanishads, which he believed could render people, quote, imperishable, unsolicitous, and eternally liberated. This translation was later rendered into Latin by Duperron in the 18th century and profoundly influenced the 19th century German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, who had said, "In the whole world there is no study so beneficial and so elevating as that of the Upanishads. It has been the solace of my life, and it will be the solace of my death." In the 11th century, Abdul al-Rayyan, a polymath from Central Asia, spent years in India studying Sanskrit and delving into its arts, literature, and science. He translated selections from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita into Arabic, bridging cultural and linguistic barriers. His book, Kitab Tariq al-Hind, aimed to equip Muslim readers with essential knowledge to engage with Indian scholars on matters of religion, science, and literature. Al-Rayyan importantly highlighted the crossovers in Indian science and Indian literature, notably the Panchatantra, which uses Annabelle fables to explore human conduct and governance. This work, known in the Middle East as Kalila wa Dimna, had been a celebrated text since medieval medieval times. Vedic texts, beyond their philosophical insights, sought to understand the cosmos, including creation cycles and planetary motions. These inquiries have laid the groundwork for modern mathematics. Indian philosopher Bhaskara, who lived in the 6th and 17th century, comments on the Aryabhatiya written in Sanskrit by Aryabhata, the earliest known Indian astronomer. The Aryabhatiya laid out the rotations of planetary objects as well as advanced techniques for numerating. Bhaskara's commentaries on it represented one of the first popular writings to employ the concept of zero, which was then assigned a symbol familiar today, a circle. Equally important was Brahmagupta, a fellow Indus Valley mathematician and astronomer who had helped develop the decimal system, the 10-digit base 10 system of numbering that serves the world as the alphabet of all calculation. Initially mislabeled for several centuries in the West as Arabic numerals, it was conceived in India and transmitted to the Middle East even before the rise of Islam. From Abu al-Hasan, a 10th century Arab mathematician, we know that prior to the introduction of numerals from India, the Islamic world expressed numbers through a system of letters, much like Roman numeral system. It was around the 7th century CE that the Indus Valley-based system became competitive. In fact, Severus Sebokht, a 7th century Syrian bishop and natural philosopher, wrote of the rivalry. He said, "I will omit all discussion of the science of the Hindus, their subtle discoveries in the science of astronomy, discoveries which are more ingenious than those of the Greeks and the Babylonians, their valuable method of calculation, their computing that surpasses description. I wish only to say that this computation is done by a means of 9 signs. If those who believe, because they speak Greek, that they have reached the limits of science, they should know these things." But alas, centuries of colonization have buried this wisdom. In light of these revelations, we must re-examine ancient Indian civilization's contribution to science and technology. As we uncover these hidden treasures of knowledge, we may find that their understanding and innovations are more profound than we ever imagined.